So, good morning, students. Today, in this session, we are going to learn about atoms, molecules, and chemical reactions of chapter 7. Children, in previous class, you have discussed about the terms, elements, and compounds, and also you learned about the role of separation of techniques in identifying the elements. The poor components obtained after separation or purification are either elements or compounds. So, in this chapter, we are going to learn about chemical reactions, atoms, molecules. My dear children, I would like to ask you one question. When the reaction taking place, for example, when iron rods kept in the atmosphere, it produces iron oxide. The common name of iron oxide is rust. Does the weight of the iron rod increase or decrease on rusting? Does the rate of iron rod increase or decrease on rusting? At the same time, when a burning charcoal, it leaves ash at the end. What about the weight of the charcoal after and before reaction? Where does the matter charcoal go? When wet cloth dries, after some time, where does the water go? These questions and several other similar questions fascinated scientists for many years. Burning and combustion reactions puzzled them to great extent. In class 8 we have studied about metals and non-metals. What happens when magnesium on burning in air? What happens sulfur on burning in air? Are the weights of the reactants and products are same or different? So, for all these questions, Antoine Lavoisier was a French nobleman. He made many experiments, contributions to chemistry, and called him the father of modern chemistry. Lavoisier studies the combustion reactions in detail. He was able to find the masses of reactants and products accurately, irrespective of their physical states. Based on his observations, he proposed the law of conservation of mass. So, based on his propositions, after conducting many activities by himself, and he proposed that the law of conservation of mass. So, to prove this, we have to do one small activity. To prove this, we have to do small activity, that is. So, in this chapter, to prove the law of conservation of mass, Antoine Lavoisier explained small activity to find out the change in the mass before and after chemical reaction. A small activity, I'll tell you one small activity. So the main aim is to find out the change in the mass before and after a chemical reaction. So what are the materials required for that? He collected two chemicals, lead nitrate and potassium iodide, distilled water, conical flask, spring balance, small test tube, retort stand, rubber cork, thread, etc. Let us do the procedure. He prepared solutions of lead nitrate by dissolving approximately 2 grams of lead nitrate in 100 ml of distilled water in 250 ml of conical flask. He prepared two solutions and prepared a potassium iodide solution by dissolving approximately 2 grams of potassium iodide in 100 ml of water in another conical flask. Prepared two separate solutions. One is lead nitrate solution, the other one is potassium iodide solution. Take 4 ml of solution of potassium iodide in a small test tube from the prepared solution, and hang the test tube containing 4 ml of potassium iodide solution in the conical flask containing lead nitrate solution carefully. Without mixing the solutions, close the flask with the cork. Now weigh the flask with its contents carefully using spring balance. Now tilt and swirl the flask so that two solutions are mixed up. Now weigh the mass again using the same spring balance. Now what you observe? The weight of the components before reactions and after reaction remains same. Okay, so before reaction, after reaction, the weights of the contents in the conical flask remain same. So this tells that a chemical reaction takes place and a mass remains same before and after the chemical reaction. Therefore, mass is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. This we call as law of conservation of mass. Okay, after reaction and before reaction, the mass of the contents before, that is reactants and products, remains same. So based on this statement, he has given the definition of law of conservation of mass. According to him, matter neither created nor destroyed during a chemical reaction. More simply, the mass of product is equal to the mass of the reactant in a chemical reaction. So mass neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. So this was proved by Anthony Lavoisier by conducting small activity. So once again, I repeat, the law of conservation of mass nothing but, according to Lavoisier, matter is neither created nor destroyed during chemical reaction. And more simply, the mass of product is equal to the mass of reactant in a chemical reaction. Okay, children? So this is how we can explain chemical law of conservation of mass. And second law of constant proportion. From the experiment on law of conservation of mass, we saw that mass does not change during a chemical reaction. Now, Joseph Sprout, between 1798 and 1808, he proposed law of constant proportion. According to him, he also collected some samples. Prout took 2 samples of copper carbonate, a compound of copper, carbon and oxygen. He took a sample from nature and another sample from prepared in the lab and decomposed it chemically to find percentage of copper, carbon and oxygen in 2 samples. The result obtained are given: copper, carbon and oxygen. He collected copper carbonate, sample of copper carbonate containing carbon, copper and oxygen. He collected in 2 different, one is prepared from laboratory, the other one is from nature, the other one is natural. So he collected and he calculated the weights of the carbon, copper and oxygen. And what difference do you find in the percentage of copper, carbon and oxygen in 2 samples? Similarly, Proust took water from different sources and found the percentage of oxygen and hydrogen was the same in all samples. There was no relation between the place from where the sample is collected. So based on this experiment, Proust put forward the law of constant and defined proportion, and it stated that a given chemical substance always contains the elements, same elements, combined in a fixed proportion by mass. So according to him, a given chemical substance always contains the same elements combined in a fixed proportion by mass. So It doesn't matter wherever the sample is collected, maybe sample may be from nature or from laboratory, etc. So according to Proust, he proved that the combination of elements in a compound are arranged in a fixed ratio. In a given chemical substance, always combine the same elements combined in a fixed proportion by mass. Okay, children, thank you and have a nice day.